Can't believe I'm saying this, but there could be some hope for eFootball. Things are looking better and better. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Terry F Gaming here. If you enjoy the content, enjoy PES news, enjoy Master League, definitely subscribe. Really appreciate it. Thanks for everyone for all the support so far. Now, eFootball, I'm doing all these things with my hands. There's a lot of stuff coming out right now. We're gonna look at hands-on gameplay from VGC. This is a video game chronicle. I think this guy does a really good job, and things definitely look a lot better. Don't get me wrong, it's still gonna take time for this game to be what we want it to be. However, they did state from the beginning, and yes, it's Konami, but they did state that the idea was for this game to be a living, breathing thing that's constantly evolving and constantly being tweaked, and not just a yearly release as we know. So if this does work, and this here is the beginning of that, right? And then we can see incremental gains, I'm all for it.
Hello there, and welcome to VGC. My name is Chris Scullion, and this is my hands-on preview of eFootball version 1.0.0.
Cut room scenes in the back room look incredible. PC modders getting their hands on this kind of footage, they're gonna make incredible versions of like dressing rooms and backroom stuff for all clubs. It's exciting. This gets me excited for PC, but this looks clean so far. We did see some of this obviously in the earlier builds.
All the footage you see here was captured directly by me and taken from a pre-release build of version 1, which will be released on the 14th of April. So let's get cracking. Konami has a mountain to climb. When it decided to completely overhaul its Pro Evolution Soccer series by ditching plans for a 2021 edition and instead taking 2 years to create an entirely new free-to-play title, hopes were high that this was to shake up the series.
Still, this color scheme, atrocious color scheme. That said, even if they kept the blue and yellow, and I guess I've said this before, I know they've done research and marketing to find out that, you know, yellow being so vibrant draws the attention of the eye, etc., etc. But I really wish it was predominantly blue with, you know, hints of this same yellow, even if you want to go with this. I think it would just be a lot more appealing on the eye. It's still an eyesore. And then the pink with the logos, it just doesn't look good. It doesn't make sense, but I digress.
Series needed. After all, the days of competing with FIFA and outdoing it in many players' opinions had been gone for some time, and the hope was that this revamp would be a spark of life. Instead, when the game, rebranded as eFootball, launched in an early version in September 2021, the reaction was about as cataclysmic as any game could ever receive.
A lot of things
riddled with bugs.
Looks
player likenesses were comically bad.
My bad.
Passing was painfully slow. Defending was frustratingly difficult.
Don't want to cut my man Chris off there. He's doing a great job. Please go check out the original video. Drop him a comment. Now, what I will say really quickly, all the textures look improved. The field looks a little bit better. The fans look far better here. There are definitely tweaks and improvements we're seeing graphically.
And shooting was woefully inaccurate. On top of that, the bizarre decision to launch with a small handful of teams and the option to play friendly matches only left players bewildered at the serious lack of content on offer.
Yep.
You only get one chance to make a first impression, and it's fair to say that eFootball couldn't have made a worse first impression, short of it hacking your phone while you played and texting your ex-partners. Konami had always stated that eFootball in this new free-to-play form was going to be an ever-evolving service, and that the version released in September was a very early first sample. It had always maintained that the first proper version 1 update would come later, though it was initially supposed to arrive in November until the release date backlash pushed that all the way back. Finally, version 1 is nearly here, with a release planned for the 14th of April. This is the update that Konami hopes will slowly start to win back the trust of a hurting fan base. Earlier this week we went hands-on with a pre-release build of version 1, and based on what we've played, this might just be the start of a comeback.
Okay.
The main thing I took from my time with the updated version is that it finally felt like I was playing the game, not fighting against it.
Right, okay.
While many ditched eFootball after that initial awful launch, I stuck with it out of curiosity to see whether it could get out of its rut. While it's definitely improved since then, the current version 0.9.1 has far fewer issues than the day 1 shambles. It's still extremely awkward to play. Over time I've learned to get better at the game by working around its flaws. Defending isn't very responsive, so we dribble a lot, that sort of thing. Version 1.
Liking what I'm seeing with some of the movement, some of the play.
1.0.0, however, doesn't have so many of these flaws and feels a lot more like a proper, accomplished football game.
That's a nice finish by Sancho.
There are two key features that contribute most to this. The first is an overhaul.
New Elanga face as well.
Defensive system, which brings back the ability to press players by holding down a button, X on PlayStation or A on Xbox. Holding that button down brings your player closer to the opponent, then pressing it twice makes you tackle.
Okay.
If that sounds like the way PES used to do it in recent years, that's exactly the case, and we're sure that's no accident. Meanwhile, a new shoulder challenge move gives extra options to gain possession. The other main addition is on the offensive side of things, and in true Konami style it has a ridiculous name: Stunning Kicks. Players can pull off a stunning kick by pressing R2 or the right trigger at exactly the same time as they press a kick button. This turns the power meter blue and modifies the kick to make it more effective, but it comes at a cost, in that the player takes much longer to wind up and release the ball.
While I've given some shtick to stunning kick and sharp kick, etc., the ideology behind it makes a lot of sense. In football, if I'm getting the ball in a good position, I have enough time. I used to play right back, so I have enough time to send a cross in, right? Or enough time to take a strike on goal. I'm gonna take my time, set up the strike more, and I'm able to put more power, more curve, whatever I want to do behind it. Under pressure, I can't do the same thing. So I do like the idea that, while playing the game, you get those opportunities. You can take full advantage of having that time and space. In a way, you kind of do it intuitively. Right now in PES 2021, I know if I get the ball in a certain position and I can shoot a little bit harder because I have more time for the wind up, etc. But I do like that it's implemented into the game in terms of a very specific feature. So I'm going to fall back a little bit on my criticism of stunning kick and sharp kick. I do see a lot of excellent implementations of the feature.
All 4 main kick buttons have a stunning variant. The stunning pass delivers a fast pass to a teammate, while the stunning through ball is a similarly pacey effort that lands closer to the target's feet than a usual through ball. The stunning cross, meanwhile, is a low, swooping cross played with plenty of power. This is particularly satisfying, especially given that crosses actually work in general now. Before, it was infuriating to deliver a cross into the box and not be sure whether a striker would actually connect with it properly. Now it's far more accurate. It's a stunning shot that will get the most attention though, especially because shooting has felt so floaty and ineffective in eFootball until now. If your player has enough space to pull off a stunning shot, it'll have far more power and accuracy. This will also come
good goal
into play for players who have specialty shots like knuckle shots, dipping shots or rising shots. It'll be the stunning shot where these are executed. Stunning kicks are the main new
Oh, that's cool, because right now, dipping, rising shots, etc., it's kind of randomly applied to the player in the situation. Having more control on it would be good. It will get abused, of course, online, but still, good to give us that control, so to speak.
Mechanic that defines eFootball for us now, in that they offer an interesting risk and reward system that FIFA doesn't. Do you play it safe and take a normal shot, or do you try to find enough space to set up for a stunning shot, knowing that the longer kick animation means it'll be easier to block? All this combines for a game that feels far more satisfying to play, though of course there's still room for improvement. Anyone expecting this to be a FIFA challenger 6 months down the line is perhaps expecting a bit too much. There are other questions that still need to be answered.
Really like that from Lewandowski. It's something like you can do a sense in PES 2021, but I think eFootball just handles dribbling and movement so much better. It feels more free. Little delicate switch from Lewandowski there to the left foot and a good finish. Look at it one more time.
Challenger 6 months down the line is perhaps expecting a bit too much. There are other questions that still need to be answered too. We were briefly told more about the Dream Team mode, eFootball's equivalent of PES's My Team and FIFA's Ultimate Team, but we didn't get a chance to try it out. On paper it sounds like business as usual, but Konami's been guilty of making My Team needlessly convoluted in recent years, and so it remains to be seen whether this new take on it will be just as awkward. For now though, we've seen and played enough to give us hope for eFootball again, which is something we certainly didn't have 7 months ago. It goes without saying that FIFA will still be top dog for now, not just in sales but in reputation. Konami's series may never have outsold EA's, but for a lengthy period it was considered by footballing purists to be the better representation of the sport. The absolute mess of last September has ensured that it will take a long time for eFootball to regain that reputation, but the improvements made for version 1 show that this is a mountain that Konami is willing to climb, and we're curious, excited even, to see what state this constant work in progress will be in a year or two from now. Is it a FIFA beater now then? Of course not. But the fact it costs nothing to try out and is actually much more stable now at least makes it a viable alternative for people getting bored of EA's offering. It's a start. A fresh start perhaps, but a start nonetheless.
Like Barcelona, they're rising from the ashes. So, very good. I'm fine with this. Good starting point. It makes me even angrier they botched the beginning again, because you really wonder what kind of traction Konami and PES or eFootball could have gained over the past few months had this been what we got last summer, even though I do think it still would have been a little bit disappointing considering what we were promised. But hopefully they lay the foundation now, they learn from the mistakes, and they keep going from there. They have the most loyal fan base in sports. We're still playing PES 21. People are still playing PES 6 and PES 13 because there were such incredible games. So get it right and you will see them come. I'm excited about this. Keep it going. I'm excited to get my hands on it. What do you guys think about this playtest? You know, everything isn't perfect yet. I can still see some sliding issues, but the graphics look a lot cleaner. The gameplay, I'm starting to see kind of the vision that they had for certain things. And I'm hoping the feedback really got to them. It seems like it did in some capacity. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Thanks for watching the video. Take care. Have a good day. Stay safe. And Karim Benzema is the GOAT. This guy is incredible. Take care, guys. Peace. See you next time.